He walked into that office knowing he'd be fired. What he didn't know was that his boss had been lying to him for 6 months. This is the story of Marcus Chen, a man who thought he knew exactly why his career was falling apart. But sometimes the truth isn't what breaks us. It's what we believe about ourselves. Marcus had worked at Thornton and Associates for 8 years. Senior account manager, reliable, invisible. For the first 7 years, that invisibility felt like safety. Show up, do the work, go home, no drama, no risk. But 6 months ago, something shifted. His boss, Richard, started watching him differently. Not with anger, with something worse. Pity. The projects got smaller. The invitations to meetings stopped coming. His name disappeared from email chains he used to lead. Marcus knew what was happening. He'd seen it before. The slowdown, the corporate fade out before the inevitable conversation. And Marcus was certain he knew why. He'd made a mistake, a big one. 3 months earlier, Marcus had pitched a campaign to a major client. He'd worked on it for weeks, stayed late, poured everything into it. The client rejected it publicly in front of the entire leadership team. Marcus replayed that moment every single day. The silence in the room, the disappointment on Richard's face, the way his colleagues looked away. That was it. That was the reason. He'd failed when it mattered most, and now they were phasing him out. He stopped trying, stopped raising his hand, stopped speaking up in meetings. If they were going to fire him anyway, why fight it? Tuesday morning, 9:47 a.m. The email came. Marcus, please come to my office at 2 p.m. today. Richard. No subject line, no context, just the summons. Marcus spent the next 4 hours writing his resignation letter. He'd beat them to it. Leave with dignity. But when he walked into that office, nothing went the way he expected. At 2 p.m. sharp, Marcus knocked. Richard looked up, gestured to the chair. Close the door. Marcus sat down, jaw tight, shoulders squared. Ready. Richard leaned back, sighed, then said something Marcus didn't expect. I owe you an apology. Silence. I've been avoiding this conversation for months, and that was wrong. Marcus. You're not getting fired. Marcus blinked. I'm not? No, but I am moving you off your current accounts. The relief lasted half a second before the confusion hit. Why? Richard opened a folder, slid it across the desk. Inside were performance reviews, client feedback forms, internal evaluations, all from the past 3 years. And every single one said the same thing, something Marcus had never seen coming. Marcus, you're one of the most talented strategists we have, but you've been buried in execution work for years, work that doesn't match your skill set. Marcus stared at the pages. Underutilized. Capable of leadership roles. Wasted potential in current position. Richard continued, that campaign you pitched? The one the client rejected? Marcus's stomach dropped. It was brilliant, genuinely brilliant, but you presented it to the wrong client. They didn't have the budget or the vision for it. That wasn't a failure, Marcus. That was a mismatch. The leadership team saw what I should have seen years ago. You don't belong in account management. You belong in creative strategy. And I've been trying to figure out how to tell you that without making you feel like you failed. Marcus felt something crack open in his chest. You thought I was disappointed in you. I wasn't. I was disappointed in myself for not seeing this sooner. And then Richard said the words that changed everything. We're creating a new role, Director of Strategic Innovation. It's yours if you want it. But Marcus, I need you to stop hiding. The room went still. I've watched you shrink over the past 6 months. I've watched you stop contributing in meetings, stop trusting yourself, and I get it. You thought you were being pushed out, but you were wrong. Marcus's voice came out quiet, raw. I thought I ruined everything. No, Richard said. You've been playing it safe for so long. You forgot what you were actually capable of. Marcus walked out of that office in a daze. not fired, promoted. But the real shift wasn't the title. It was the mirror Richard had held up. For 6 months, Marcus had been telling himself a story. A story where his worth was tied to one rejected pitch, where silence meant judgment, where invisibility was the same as failure. But none of it was true. He'd been so convinced of his own narrative, he never questioned it. And that's when Marcus realized the person who'd been firing him was himself. He'd fired himself from opportunities by staying quiet. He'd fired himself from growth by playing small. He'd fired himself from his own potential because he was terrified of being seen. The rejection wasn't the problem. The story he told himself about the rejection was. 3 months later, Marcus launched his first campaign as Director of Strategic Innovation. It won an industry award, but more than that, he learned something most people never do. We're not defeated by what happened to us. We're defeated by what we believe about what happens to us. Marcus thought he was being fired for failure. The truth? He was being promoted for potential he'd been too afraid to claim. The version of you that's holding back. The one playing small because you're convinced you've already failed. That version isn't protecting you. It's limiting you. Sometimes the reason isn't what you think. Sometimes the ending you're afraid of is actually the beginning you've been waiting for.